Okay, today we're talking about the Roland Systems Group, the V-800HD, the multi-format switcher. Multi-format switcher that allows you to bring multiple types of formats into the input side of the switcher. It is an 8-input switcher, and on the output side of the switcher, it is also multi-format. We have 4 SDI inputs on the bottom. We have 4 SD composite inputs on the top. We have, and those correspond to channels 1 through 4 on the switcher. We have 4 DVI HDMI inputs, along with 4 RGB component inputs, and those correspond to 5 through 8 on a switcher. With a menu selection, you can go to the input side of the switcher and select which inputs you want to use. Do you want to use SDI? Do you want to use composite? By using the value key here on the main menu section, you can switch that to composite or go back to SDI. Along with inputs 5 through 8, the same thing. DVI inputs, HDMI inputs, or RGB component inputs. So when we say multi-format, that means that we can bring any kind of signal in and we're going to process it and send it out. That means that we're going to be able to scale it. So as we go to the scaling function of the switcher, we can choose an input to scale. And right now I'm in input 5. So if I choose, or should I say input 6. So I'm on the input side, and if the multi-view monitor output, the HDMI output is a multi-view output, and we're inputting into this flat panel. So we have our preview, our program outputs. We have channels 1 through 4 here in the middle, and then we have channels 5 through 8 here at the bottom. Right now we're going to go ahead and affect channel 5. And let's say I will choose channel 5. I have control on input. So now I can go ahead and scale that. And as you can see, my video player stopped. And let's go back and start that. There we go. Okay, so I have selected channel input 5, and I am going to scale that. So I can scale that by using the size knob, and then I can also position that left or right, up or down. And I can do this to any input. I can do that to an output. Again, my program out, I can scale it. I can go and make it match whatever format I'm coming out of or whatever I'm projecting onto. We also have effects built into the switcher. So if I choose picture-in-picture, and my bottom row is put to standby effects. So again, I have 5, and I'm going to choose input 6 on the program out. So on my 5 is where my effects is. I hit my picture-in-picture, and you'll notice, again, I can position my picture-in-picture, and I can scale it. And once I do a transition, either a cut or an auto, it will place it on the program output. So let's see, what else can we talk about? We do have key functions, either luminance or chrominance type key. We do have DSK, which is downstream keyer, so we can add credits. We do have memory. We have 8 banks, and each bank has 8 locations, so that's a total of 64 places that we can store we're basically storing settings, parameters. We also have a USB memory, and that, again, we can store all our settings, all our parameter changes, all our different positions that we've left the video switcher in. We can store that in USB memory. We do have to format that USB key. We can also bring images, pictures from the USB memory, so we can bring that in as stills. That normally will show up in input 9. We do have different types once I get out of the picture-in-picture, get out of my wipes. We do have different types of wipe patterns, so we can do a mix, and we can just do an auto mix, fade in. Transition time's defaulted to 1 second, but we can increase that, and again, we can hit it, and it'll take couple of seconds now that I've set it on. I set it almost 4 seconds. So if we want to do it manually, we can go ahead and just do that manually. Again, my media player keeps switching off. So let's see, that is pretty much it. We do have 2 SDI outputs. We have 2 DVI HDMI outputs. We do have the HDMI output that's for the multi-view. We do have a standard def composite out. We do have ways to bring in HDCP, content protection type of signals. Just a memory menu setting that you go into, and you go ahead and turn that on, and it'll bring that in. The only thing you can't do is it will not send it out to the SDI or SD outputs. It only sends it to the multi-view output. It also sends it to the HDMI DVI outputs. And I think that's it.